Good evening and welcome to the Community Development Committee meeting for Monday, February 23rd, 2026. We have one item on this evening's agenda. Item number one is the matter of adoption of the 2024 International Property Maintenance Code, and this is referred by Building and Zoning Official Mr. Farkas. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Chair, through you. This proposal is a replacement of the current 2018 International Property Maintenance Code. Per the research, this book is the most current that is in effect. The code cycles typically change every 3 years. This one is the most recent version. Per my research of this version, it does give many updated code languages. It's more current than what we have in the 2018 version. It does give much updated code commentary that will help the inspection crew and team discern certain types of violations. And it does go into the most recent residential code of Ohio as well. It does cross over into some of the residential code, but it cannot supersede our current code and act, but it does speak parallel to one another. This adoption will hopefully take effect relatively soon. I have had primed staff in regards to changes. We have updated and prepped all of our current forms. So with your approval, I would like to move forward.
Thank you, Mr. Farkas. I'll open it up to the panel for discussion. All right, looks like we have no further discussion. We've considered the matter of the adoption of the 2024 edition of the International Property Maintenance Code and recommend that legislation be drawn authorizing the adoption of said property maintenance code. I'll entertain a motion from Community Development.
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Mitchell.
Second.
Second by Mrs. Rothgary. Any
Question.
further discussion? Question's been called. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. And that concludes the community development portion of the meeting. I'll have Mr. Tollett call the joint meeting to order for finance.
At this time, I'll call finance to order.
Thank you, Mr. Tollett. We have 5 items on this evening's agenda. The first item is the matter of approval of the meeting minutes from the joint community development finance meeting from February 9th, 2026, as circulated on February 11th, 2026. I'll entertain a motion from community development.
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Mitchell.
Second.
Second by Mrs. Rothgary.
Question.
Question's been called. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I'll entertain a motion for finance.
So moved. Second.
Motion's been made and properly seconded.
Question.
Question's been called. All in favor, use the voting sign aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
All right, the second item on this evening's agenda is the matter of adopting the 2025 report of the Elyria Tax Incentive Review Council, which met on February 5th, 2026, and this is referred by our Community Development Manager, Director Scott.
Thank you, and through you. So the Tax Incentive Review Council met on February 5th to review contractual compliance of the various companies that have CRA and enterprise zone agreements with the city. It was determined that all of the companies that were reviewed were in compliance with their agreements. So the TURC is recommending to council to approve the report to continue the abatement at their current levels. I also wanted to note that Foster Senior Lofts did request an extension of their hiring date. It originally was set for February of this year, but due to some unforeseen delays in the beginning of the project with the closing of the financing and things like that, their project got a little bit behind. So it was requested that that hiring completion date is extended until the end of this calendar year. So the TURC is also recommending approval of that amendment to their agreement.
Thank you. I'll open it up for discussion. Thank you, Mrs. Scott. All right. If there's no discussion, I'll read the committee report. This will be passed as an emergency. What's that? Okay, due to the submission requirement, it'll be an emergency. We've considered the matter of review and approval of the recommendations from the Tax Incentive Review Council, TIRC, which met on February 5th, 2026, and recommend that legislation be drawn authorizing the adoption of the report of the Elyria Tax Incentive Review Council and a list of companies and units which were approved as attached. Emergency clause is requested due to the deadline for reporting to the state is March 30th. I'll entertain a motion from Community Development.
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Mitchell,
Second.
second by Mrs. Rothgary.
Question.
Question's been called. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
On behalf of Finance, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Motion's been made and properly seconded.
Question.
Question's been called. All in favor, use the voting sign aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Moving on to agenda item number 3 is the matter of the CRA tax exemption application from Buckeye State Welding located in Community Reinvestment Area number 2 at 131 Buckeye Street, and this is referred by Community Development Manager Alma Bayed. Welcome, Mrs. Alma Bayed.
Thank you, through you, Chair. Good evening, members of Council Committee. Before you this evening, we have a request for approval of a Community Reinvestment Area tax abatement with Buckeye State Welding and Fabricating for the property located at 131 Buckeye Street. The applicant is requesting a 15-year, 75% CRA abatement to support a $2.81 million investment in the facility. The project is anticipated to be completed by March of 2027 and includes the creation of 2 full-time positions generating approximately $150,000 in new annual payroll for the city of Elyria. Per Ohio Revised Code, proper notice has been served to the affected school districts. We have not received any questions or concerns from the schools, and this project does not require formal approval, only notification only. We are also asking that this legislation be passed as an emergency measure in order to meet the state requirements. Ohio requires CRA abatements be transmitted to the state within 14 days of execution. In addition, state CRA procedures direct communities to submit the fully executed agreement and supporting documentation within 15 days of council passage. So emergency passage will allow us to remain compliant with these timelines. We do have representatives from Buckeye State Welding and Fabricating this evening to provide an overview of their project and answer any questions council may have.
Thank you, through you. Just, new to the process on these, the 75%, is that pretty standard request, or is this higher than normal requests, or where does that fall regarding their 75% request? Thank you.
Sure. We grant usually between 75 and 100%. Anything over 75% requires school board approval. So that's was negotiated between the company and staff.
Thank you, Chair, through you. Mrs. Ambayed, maybe you said, and I just didn't catch it, this is an expansion that they're doing?
I believe, and the team would be able to speak better of that, but it's both an expansion and renovation.
Expansion and improvements to the facility.
Okay, thank you.
Mrs. Alma Bayed.
Address that if you'd like briefly.
Yeah, if the proponents would like to come up to speak, we'll have them come up to the mic. Please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Jim Yorks. I'm the architect on the project and a good friend of the owner. We grew up together on the west side of Elyria. We're both Elyria boys. It's nice to see.
No better than that.
I used to deliver the Chronicle to their family's house, and their dog Shadow would chase me. So with that said, it's nice to see good hometown boys doing well and bringing it back and wanting to expand and give back to the community. And that's where we're at. I currently live in Amherst. I reside at 7525 Levitt, and I'll let Kenny give his information, and then we'll give you a short spiel.
Thank you. Welcome. Please state your name and address
Good
for the
evening.
record.
Ken Redinger Jr., 152 Buckingham Drive, Elyria. We're looking to expand the business. We're in a 120-year-old building, our main office and small machine shop, and it's getting a little, let me introduce my son, Ryan Redinger. He's fourth generation, my business partner as well. But we're looking to expand, as the scrapyard started to shut down over on Buckeye Street. I purchased, I believe, 11 lots over the last 7 years. And then I contacted Jim, and we just need more space, newer facilities. I need some offices with good bathrooms and things like that, more manufacturing space, so. And I wanted to stay here. The land came available, so that's where we're at with it.
Thank you for your investment and congratulations on your success. I'll open it up to the panel. Mr. Tolet?
For Kenny, I don't know if you remember, you and I played baseball together at Little League West.
My son, yeah.
Can you tell the whole committee how long Buckeye State Welding has been around in total?
Absolutely. Actually, next year in 2027, it'll be 70 years. My grandfather started it in 57, and then my father and the two brothers came in. Grandfather passed. The two brothers wanted out. In 2007, my dad and I bought the two brothers out. I've been with the business since I was 10 years old. So yeah, it's a long time family business. And like I said, my son's coming in. My brother works for me, and, you know, things are going well right now. We just need some new places to do some stuff with, you know.
We're basically doubling the size of the existing facility. You'll see the drawings there, but they've been going for generations and working out of the same old buildings and the same office space, et cetera, and they realize that they need more updated space. They need twin overhead cranes to handle some of the larger steel pieces that they use. They do weld and fabricate in a low-hazard factory industrial use area. They also need some better parking, which we've acquired some additional properties to do that. We actually started this project back in 2021, but due to the health of his father and questioning the marketplace and what was going on, but we did go all the way through. We got all the lot consolidations. We went through the zoning board and got any variances that were needed. We went through design review at the time and got those approvals. We got our bids. We were ready to go. It's just that we decided to pull back a little and see what this, you know, was going to do. And it's gone well since then. And so now's the time to do it, and it's not going to get any less expensive as we move forward. So we decided to pull the trigger and go ahead. So it should pretty much be pretty smooth to go through. The building itself is, you know, a big industrial building. At the same token, it's done tastefully with appropriate landscaping and drainage and screening and everything that goes with it. But also, there's a new two-story office building on the front of the building, and the office will serve to screen the industrial mass of the fabrication building, which is about 110 by 115 feet, about 13,000 square feet. The office area is another like 2,600 square feet. The office area will house, you know, incidental meeting rooms and lounges and offices and production staff and estimating and that type of thing. But what it'll really do is give us some new space to spread our wings and have better shipping and receiving and just an overall better facility. Got any questions, we'll be glad to address them.
Thank you. Ms. Davis had her hand up.
Yes, through you, Chair. So I see that you're going to hire 2 full-time over a 2 to 3 year period. How many employees do you have now?
Right now, we actually have 2 locations. On Buckeye Street, there's 10, including my office manager. And then we have another shop, my fabricating shop is on Woodford Avenue, and there's 6 of us over there. So right now, there's 10 on Buckeye Street.
Thank you. Are you merging the 2 locations into one, or are you leaving them separate? I don't know.
Right at this point in time, no, and the reason why, I would love to have everything under one roof, but we have machinery at both locations that is very old, and if I move it, it's never going to work right again. So I'm just looking for the future of the company and more space, and, you know, possibly, right now, other than the cranes going in that building, I don't have any plans for machinery, but that could change very quickly too as we move forward. So just nothing guaranteed at this time.
Thank you. And I don't know if I caught this during the presentation. What's the projected completion date? I know that's kind of a open-ended
I'd say spring of the following year, not this year. It'll take about a year.
27.
It's kind of an exciting project, and I know what you have to take into consideration many things with your decision-making, but I got to tell you, couldn't have a better project to invest in and partner with. You're talking salt of the earth, good people that have been here forever, will continue to be here forever, love this city, will do what's right by it, and we're not talking a ton of cash. And they just give back, and I gotta tell you, I cherish his friendship and our relationship, and I know he'll do you a good job, so it makes it pretty easy. It's a blighted area, that industrial district over there, and any improvements that we can do within that context to improve that is gonna improve the entire neighborhood, and I know that's his end goal, so it's pretty much a no-brainer.
I agree. It's good to see some activity at that end of the area over there. Any further questions from any of the council members? All right, thank you for your time and presentation.
Thank you.
I'll read the committee report. We've considered the matter of a request for Community Reinvestment Area CRA tax abatement agreement with Buckeye State Welding and Fabricating Project. Address is 131 Buckeye Street. We recommend that legislation be drawn authorizing the requested said Community Reinvestment Area tax abatement. Emergency clause is requested in order to meet state requirements. I'll entertain a motion from Community Development.
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Mitchell,
Second.
second by Mrs. Rothgary.
Question?
Question's been called. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
On behalf of Finance, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly seconded. Question. Question's been called. All in favor, use the voting sign aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much for your investment. Continually, 70 years.
Thank you. Moving on to agenda item number 4 is the matter of a residential HVAC energy efficiency grant program, and this is referred by Community Development Director Scott. Welcome back up.
Thank you, and through you, Mayor, did you have a couple things that you wanted to say regarding this before I start?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Scott. You received a copy of the program by way of email. This is what I had addressed at the last council meeting, and in the Chronicle, I had already written an article about it. We did get approval from NOPEC to proceed with this. They are excited about the thinking outside the box of using their dollars. I'll give great kudos to Ms. Calvert, Ms. Scott, Ms. Ahmed, for their work in putting this program together quickly for me so we could get this rolled out. And I'll let her explain the details of what they came up with. But again, you got a copy of that in your email to see what they were doing with this program. So we're anxious to get this started. We believe we're going to be able to help some Illyrians in an emergency situation when it comes to HVAC and water tanks. So Director Scott?
Thank you, Mayor Brubaker.
Thank you, and through you. So as the mayor had indicated, a copy of the draft program was delivered to Council Clerk's office late last week, but to give you a high-level overview, this program would provide grants of up to $10,000 per household that is eligible to apply. This would address inoperable or faulty furnaces, AC units, heat pumps, hot water tanks, and any electrical or ventilation upgrades required for the installation. The amount would be funded not to exceed the $100,000 provided by NOPEC. We did put an income requirement on this that is slightly higher than what our CDBG program allows, to allow more people to apply than what we would typically be able to help through our programs. The program does require, we did set it up a lot like Spruce Up. So the homeowners are going to be responsible for obtaining a minimum of 2 quotes, just so we can ensure cost reasonableness. Our housing rehab specialist will be highly involved. She'll be going out to the site, to make sure that there is a need there. We will make sure that the contractors are registered with the building department and they have all of their proper licenses. And we would provide payment directly to the contractor upon completion. So we would make sure that all permits have been pulled, and everything was done as it was supposed to be. So that's just a real high-level overview. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer.
Thank you, Director. I do have one question, kind of 2 questions. This is for owner-occupied properties only, correct?
Through you, yes.
And no repayment or lien process? It's just a grant?
No, we are proposing to do this in the form of a grant.
Great, thank you. I'll open it up to the panel. Mrs. Mitchell?
Through you, Mrs. Scott, what is the income required? You mentioned that.
So through you, in talking with different social service agencies that we deal with and through some of the people who have come through our department and applied, we had a discussion and we felt that 150% of the area median income would be a good limit. We currently cap out at 80%. So this is going to expand upon that. So just to give you an idea of a family of four, it would be about roughly $145,000 a year gross.
Thank you, Director. Any further discussion from the panel? Thank you. I'll read the committee report. We've considered the matter of a residential HVAC energy efficiency grant program between the City of Elyria and NOPEC and recommend legislation be drawn authorizing the implementation of said program. I'll entertain a motion from Community Development.
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Mitchell,
Second.
second by Mrs. Rothgary.
Question?
Question's been called. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
On behalf of Finance, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly seconded.
Question?
Question's been called. All in favor, use the voting sign aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Moving on to agenda item number 5, the matter of a new agreement with Lorraine County Community College for continuation of the Elyria Skills City program for the year 2026. Director Scott.
Thank you, and through you. So the Elyria Skill City program was originally established in March of 2021 as a jobs and economic development initiative to provide tuition gap scholarships to eligible Elyria residents. This would go to students who were seeking education in industry-recognized credentials and workforce training. So authorization is requested for funding in an amount not to exceed $100,000 for calendar year 2026. Just to note, there was approximately $60,000 remaining on their prior agreement that ended at the end of 2025. So that money is currently under purchase order. We would obviously have to put that back into the coffers and then open up a new purchase order. But there is $100,000 in the account available. This would be paid for with issue 6. Development funds, and I would also like to note that we have Cynthia Kushner here tonight with the college, and she would like to provide the council with an update on the program and its success so far.
Welcome. Please state your name and address for the record.
Thank you. Cynthia Kushner, and I live at 3540 Edgewater Drive in Vermillion.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mayor, Council, and all. Thank you for allowing me a few minutes to provide an update and perhaps an introduction for some of the new council members. So Elyria Skills City has been around for a little bit now. I think we started in about March 2021 with some of our first students. And when we started, again, this is a GAP scholarship, so we apply all other forms of aid that we have available to students in Elyria, the city of Elyria proper, to fill a gap that might stop a student from completing their certificate or degree. When we first started, we had a whole bunch of programs. We did narrow that down to about 15 high-impact, high-opportunity areas for the city of Elyria and Northeast Ohio. So where the jobs are considered to have a high opportunity. And not just that foot-in-the-door job, but to be able to grow with it and have that family-sustaining wage. So we started big. We did whittle down to about 15 programs. And I think we may be adding 1 or 2 this fall. But so far, we've had about 285 enrolled students, average age about 29, as you see there. Average award is about a little over $1,100 a student. And you see the demographics there, almost even, male, female, and a diverse group of Illyrians here, of all ages, as you could see there. So they took about 231 different courses, several credits, some very high-achieving Illyrians in there, as you could see, with 88 4.0 GPAs and 112 with a 3.0 cumulative GPA. And I won't go into every course there, but you can see we've had about 169 graduates now. Again, those are certificate programs as well as some degrees now. So we've been at it a little while. And the idea of these programs is they're short-term in nature, but they stack. So the individuals are expected to earn as they learn. So this is all part of that you've probably heard us talk about a lot, because it's been very popular, and we found that that's how people want to learn. And with technology changing, it's a great way for people to get their education. And oftentimes, sometimes, the employer actually starts paying for it too. So it's been a really great partnership. But you could see the variety there. We even have some nurses now, associate degree nurses, that we can claim to have impacted, and again, help fill those gap with those gap scholarships. Primarily, we're in advanced manufacturing, IT, healthcare, and we have some finance programs as well. And the mayor specifically asked, I heard, tell us more about, jobs and how they're doing. And we do, it's a struggle, I'm gonna admit. It's a real struggle to get them to respond. Once they're done with us, they're like, I'm in my zone, I'm working, my family, all of that. But we did get about 17% of the Illyrians to respond in our grad tracking survey. And they told us a few things. Of those employed, full or part-time, 89% indicate that they apply to some degree. The skills and knowledge that they earned while working with Lorraine County Community College and their employers. Top industries that they're employed in: healthcare, social assistance, information technology, manufacturing. About 46% were full-time. Again, some of them are in that Earn and Learn program, and they're expected to be working part-time while they're going to school. And then a small percent seeking employment, and you can see the different answers there. Of those that provided a location, their employers, 34% are within Elyria, another 15% in Lorraine County, so about half. And then of those reported being in a new job, 64% reported one or more of the following changes: higher position, higher pay, or increased responsibility. So that's a little update. I want to make sure I express our deep, deep gratitude for this support. It has literally changed lives. We know that our students will stop out for the smallest little gap, and then it's really hard to get them back. So this has been really meaningful to us and the number of individuals that you've impacted. So I want to make sure that I say thank you from the bottom of my heart, and as well as on behalf of our college leadership. And with that.
Thank you, Mrs. Krishner. The college is truly one of the best assets of our community. I'll open it up to the panel for discussion. Mr. Armstrong?
Through you, Chair. Mr. Chair, I'm not on this committee, but I just have a question. Ms. Krishner, are the students eligible to stack these certificates, like get more than one?
Yes.
I just want the general public to be aware that they can get more than just one, to have a better opportunity out there.
Yes, and that is absolutely, we try to put that expectation out there, especially for those really short term, because again, the idea is get your foot in the door with that first job and then continue to grow, whether that employer's paying for it, Pell may be paying for it. Support from Elyria City certainly has helped with those gap situations, but yeah, that's the expectation. We want them to continue to grow.
Mr. Tolet?
Through you. Just so I understand the funding piece of it, we had 60,000 that carried over from 2025, So we're actually looking at 40,000 in new money, just so I understand that. Is that correct?
Essentially, yes. So
Okay.
their current agreement expired at the end of 2025. There was $60,000 remaining on that agreement that was not expended.
Thank you very much.
Director. Any further discussion from Mrs. Mitchell?
Thank you, Chair, through you. Ms. Kirshner, do you guys do placement? Do you work with the students to help them find jobs?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We have, actually, I'm the Director of School Workforce and Community Partnerships. So we're on the employer end, and then we have Career Services, which actively reach out to those students to bring them in, get them ready, polish up those resumes, and then those of us out in workforce are trying to make those connections back. So yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
That's very important to us.
Director Pileski, do you have anything? I think Mr. Tolet answered the question I was going to ask you, but do you have anything further to report on this matter?
Through you, Mr. Chair, just that there is money appropriated in the permanent appropriation tonight.
Thank you. Any further discussion from the committee? Either committee or council members? All right, I'll read the committee report. We've considered the matter of a new agreement with Lorain County Community College for the continuation of the Elyria Skill City program for 2026, and legislation be drawn authorizing the continuation of said program between Elyria and LCCC. The program will run through 2026. I'll entertain a motion from Community Development.
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Rothgary,
Second.
second by Mrs. Mitchell.
Question.
Question's been called. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
On behalf of Finance, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly seconded.
Question.
Question's been called. All in favor, use the voting sign aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
All right, that looks like there's no further business to come before Community Development. I will entertain a motion from Community Development to adjourn only the Community Development portion of the meeting.
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Rothgary, second by Mrs. Mitchell. Any further discussion? Question's been called. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Community Development is adjourned. Does he need this one?
We will continue on with Finance. First item on the agenda, number one, the matter of approval of meeting minutes from the Finance Committee meeting, which took place on February 9th, 2026, as circulated on February 11th. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Motion's been made and properly seconded. Question's been called. All in favor, use the voting sign aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda, number two, the matter of a contract for the Middle Avenue Sidewalk Replacement Project. Engineer Schneider.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We'd like to go out for bid to replace the sidewalks on Middle Avenue from Second Street to Broad Street, largely on the east side of the road there in front of all the businesses. We're looking for approximately $140,000 to complete all the work. There will be also some work on the park side as well. But over the years, we've been replacing a lot of those brick pavers that have a lot of issues out there where they've settled and created a lot of trip hazards. That was all installed years ago through the city, so it's one of the reasons why we're trying to take care of a lot of these issues.
Look, does it need to be an emergency?
Seeing now we're in February, no.
Okay. Any questions from the committee? Mr. Van Warmer?
Through you, Mr. Chair, and, thank you as someone who works on the square on a daily basis. Obviously, we did the other side. Definitely have seen less people bumping their feet, tripping. So looks great on that side, so looking forward to having that done on the other side as well.
Mr. Schneider?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you to Engineer Schneider. Is there any, I know there was talks from Elyria Community Partnership about some improvements around the square, I think with like signage or like bike racks and things of that nature. Are any of those going in this section of sidewalk that you're aware of?
I'm not, I do believe there's some signage going in there, especially up by Broad Street. I don't know if any additional bike racks or anything of that was going in this area or not, though.
Thank you.
If there are, I'm sorry, Mr. Pileski.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you, John, is this in your budget request?
Typically, the temporary, or the 0.5% income tax is typically done through the mayor's office.
And the capital needs?
Yes.
Mr. Pileski, all set? Okay. I will read the committee report then. We have considered the matter of a construction contract for the Middle Avenue Sidewalk Replacement Project, Broad Street to Second Street, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to advertise for bids and award a contract for the said project. Funds are appropriated in the 2026 temporary budget. Can I get a motion, please?
So moved.
Motion's been made and properly seconded. Question's been called. All in favor, use the voting sign aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Next item on the agenda, the matter of the 2026 permanent appropriations, the 2026 budget. For everyone's knowledge, we will not be voting on this evening. We have several new members of council, and there are several existing members of council who would like 2 weeks until our next committee to vote on this, to go through, digest it, ask questions to Mr. Farrell, Mr. Pileski, the mayor. In saying that, I want to thank the Safety Service Director, the mayor, the finance director and his team, and all the department heads who every year have to produce this. It's a lot of work, so great job. Thank you. At this time, I will turn it over to Director Pileski.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So we distributed quite a bit of material last week. There's a lot to digest. I would tell you the most important documents that you should focus on is the one being the schedule beginning of cash balances. It looks like in your packet it'll be a 2-page document with some yellow columns, red columns, purple columns. And what that shows is the fund, the beginning cash balance, estimated revenue for 2026, which brings us to the amount available to appropriate. And then in the yellow columns, you got the department request and amount over, under, available to appropriate. And then the red columns are the numbers that the finance department that we went through and made changes to. So that's where we're at. And in the final, in the purple, that'll be city council numbers, and those numbers will change as we enter in what's eventually passed by council. So, excuse me, I guess to start out with the general fund, we're starting the year with, I'm going to round these numbers, 12.4 million. So we started 25 with 15.3 million, so we're down about $3 million, but we're going to recoup about $1 million of that whenever the FBI reimburses us for what we spent on the firing range thus far. So far this year, we got $42,000, but we still have another $940,000 that's due to us, so I'll let you know when we get that. But estimated revenue, we always take a pretty conservative approach. Last year, I believe, actual revenues totaled 38.8 million, and that was including income tax revenues that were up 6.3% in the general fund and overall. So last year was a good year for tax revenue, but again, we spent more than what we brought in and then some because our cash dropped by 3 million. So that brings us to amount available to appropriate in the general fund of 50.9 million, and the department request was 47 million, but we found that there were a couple of departments that were, they did not appropriate enough. Number one, we have 27 pays this year, so we had to make sure everybody appropriated for that extra pay. And there was a couple of other departments that used incorrect numbers when they started their process, so we had to bump the request up to 50.1 million. So worst case scenario, if revenues came in as estimated and we spent everything that was appropriated, we would be finishing the year with just under $1 million in the general fund. I don't believe that's going to happen. I believe that in looking at everything, I think we'll probably dip into our cash balance by about 4 to 5 million in the general fund this year. So that's going to bring us down to probably around 7 million to start 2027. I'll, of course, keep you posted every month on cash balances and income tax revenues as we pass out reports every month, but at some point in time, we have to stop with the way we can't continue to spend more than what we're bringing in, obviously, so. And then, so if you look, the rest of the funds, there's a total of about 51 funds that you appropriate, most of them being special revenue funds. There's several that are community court special funds, and then, of course, we have the enterprise funds, which are water, sanitation, wastewater, stormwater. So besides the extra pay period, health insurance has gone considerably higher over the last couple of years. Last year, I believe claim costs were up 14%. So we had to adjust the funding mechanism for that fund. So the employee share went up for 2026, and the city share went up for 2026 because the fund was getting dangerously low on its cash balance. So, and then of course there's also the capital list that's been passed out, and in there you'll see all the major water projects and sewer projects that are slated for this year. I don't think we need to go through every single fund, but I would say that if when you get the time to go through all this and you have any questions, be sure to reach out to us. And the sanitation fund, much better shape than what it was since you raised the rates. So I'll be able to pay off that note that's still outstanding on one of the trucks this year. And the other big project, of course, is the central maintenance garage. That should be starting, I believe they're getting ready to award the contract shortly.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, the contract's been awarded, and the groundbreaking is scheduled for March 19th at 1 o'clock, but you guys will be getting an invite to that here shortly.
So, of course, that fund, that project, we originally issued $21 million in notes, one-year notes. So I retired, issued long-term bonds totaling $16 million late last year, and retired $16 million of the notes, and now we have a long-term liability. I left $5 million in notes just in case the project came in lower than estimated at $21 million, or if we scaled back on the project. So there are still $5 million in short-term notes outstanding on that, but the remaining $16 million is now in long-term debt, so we will start paying principal and interest starting next year on the long-term bonds. So, there's a lot that goes into this process. There's a lot to digest for you, for those that are new to the the council, just feel free to come and see me, see John, reach out to us, and hopefully we'll have the answers for you.
Thank you, Director Pileski. Please do that. I encourage the new members, you know, when you get stuck on something, it's extremely confusing. I'm confused about a few things. Mr. Schneider.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, through you. Director Pileski, did we have any negative impact from the homestead expansion financially from one year to the other, or is it still too early to tell?
I'm going to have to put my earbud in.
Sorry.
I can't see and I can't hear anymore.
Did we have any impact from the homestead expansion from one year over to the other, or is it still too early to tell? The homestead?
Yeah, I think I mean, you're referring to the change that the county made. We're going to lose revenue on it for sure. I don't know quite how much yet, but we will lose revenue on
Okay,
it.
thank you.
And that money goes into 4 different funds: general fund, general bond retirement, police pension, and fire pension, so.
Thank you. And one more through you, Mr.
Please.
Chair. The medical marijuana money, is that just go back into general fund? Is that where that gets allocated?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's no specific purpose for it, so it's required, not required, but its best fit is in the general fund.
Thank you. That's what I thought.
Any additional questions at this point? Mr. Farrell?
No questions, Chairman.
Okay. What we'll do then, sorry, Mr. Pileski.
I actually thought I would have a question about street money. Oh, anyway, there is money still available to appropriate in the 2016 half% income tax fund. So when you're going through everything and we can bargain on that, I guess. I think there's $3 million left to appropriate, but I don't really want to throw another $3 million. I mean, we need to hang on to some of it, so we can discuss.
Thank you, Mrs. Mitchell. All right. Mr. Pileski, Mr. Farrell, just so you know, we will bring this up in 2 weeks. This will be back on, so please get all your questions answered by then.
It has to be, again, it has to be passed by the end of March.
Correct, by full council. So it'll go right from that meeting in 2 weeks to the March 16th full council. So we still have some time to answer everyone's questions. Okay. If not, we will go right into number 4. The matter of amendments to the temporary appropriations.
We do not have any this evening.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Good news.
I
All
thought-
right.
Yeah, we're not going to amend it now that the permanent's on the table, so.
Okay, I wanted you to say it officially for the record. All right. Mr. Pileski, Mr. Farrell, for many, many years, we're blessed to have you being a conservative leader for us. And again, I say it every year, we're fortunate to have you. Thank you. All right, if there's nothing else to come before this committee, I would accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Motion's been made and properly seconded.
Question.
Question's been called. All in favor, use the voting sign aye. Aye. Oppose? Motion carried. Please make sure to turn off your computer screens.